I'm a money magnet, draped in designer, I stay high fashion. Kiss you bougie, know I'm high maintenance.
What's up with it, y'all? It's Big Boss coming back with an ultimate review of every single Yves Saint Laurent Y fragrance in the whole entire Y line, okay? First, we have YSL Y Eau Fraiche. We have YSL Y the Toilette. We have YSL Y Eau de Parfum. We have YSL Y Eau de Parfum Intense. We have YSL Y Le Parfum. And we have the brand new YSL Y L'Elixir. Okay, so let's talk about the Eau Fraiche first. So this is the lightest fragrance in the whole entire Y line. So you can kind of look at this fragrance as the fragrance that's the freshest, the lightest, and the one that doesn't last as long as the others. So the higher we go in concentration, the more darker the fragrance, okay? Now, telling y'all about the Eau Fraiche. Now, do I like the Eau Fraiche? Yes, it's a really, really good summer scent, okay? It's kind of like a lemonade ginger smell. I really love it. It doesn't garner you a lot of compliments as the other Y line fragrances, but it's real youthful. It's real good for kids that's in school. It's real good for if you're going to college, if you're just running out to the beach and you don't want to smell too overpowering and you just want something to go throughout your day but not make too much noise. That is why a lot of people wear this fragrance. Now, can I recommend this fragrance? I don't recommend this fragrance a lot to a lot of people on the simple merit that it doesn't last that long, but it's a good scent. Now, we're talking about the Toilette, okay? The Toilette switched up a little bit when it came to like the lemon. Like they took the lemon out of the opening. They also took the juniper berry out of the opening. This fragrance right here is even darker than the Eau Fraiche. So you're looking at it being fresh and spicy. It's still aromatic. It still gets you compliments. But everyone knows that the Toilette smells really, really good, but it's lacking on projection. Now, I'm not saying it don't project heavy. It's just no reason to not either get YSL Y Live or YSL Y Eau de Parfum when this fragrance right here smells really similar to them fragrances, but doesn't last that long. So could I recommend y'all the Toilette? No, I do not recommend y'all getting the Toilette. Does it still smell like the Y-DNA? Yes, it still smells like the Y-DNA. It's just not gonna last you that long, and it's fragrances that's better. Now, let's talk about YSL Y Live. Before I made this ultimate review, I made sure I went to my homeboy that had YSL Y. I told him to make me a decan. I'm smelling it. And now that I finally smelled YSL Y, I can honestly say that they could have just called this fragrance YSL Y Eau de Toilette Intense. You know what I mean? They could have just called this Y Intense because it sits right in the middle of the Eau de Toilette and the Parfum. It's not as harsh as the Parfum, but it lasts longer than the Toilette. It's damn near like a marriage of both of the fragrances, and it's a little bit sweeter. And I get a lot of compliments just like I get with the Eau de Parfum with the Live. So they're neck and neck. And if I was gonna tell y'all which one I like more when it comes to the YSL Y Live, YSL Y Toilette, or the YSL Y Eau de Parfum, I think the Live smell better. So think about if the Toilette and the Eau de Parfum had a baby. Okay, so let's get on the Eau de Parfum, the most popular Y fragrance in the whole entire line. Now, it's starting to get more woody now. That's what I do want to say, okay? You still got that green apple. They added that. See, but all the other Y fragrances, they didn't have that green apple. So they put the green apple in here to make it like a real harsh, soury opening, which everybody loved with the YSL Eau de Parfum. When it comes to the middle notes, the sage, geranium, juniper berry, that's similar in all the Y lines. And them 3 notes is what make Y. But when it comes to the base notes, they added tonka bean, cedar, amberwood, vetiver. They added more richer wood scents to bring out the wood in this fragrance, which made this fragrance last entirely longer than the Eau Fraiche and the Toilette. So do I recommend y'all getting Eau de Parfum? Absolutely. This is a staple YSL fragrance, and this is probably top 3 of all the YSL Ys. This is for sure in the top 3. Okay, so let's talk about YSL Eau de Parfum Intense that sits right in between Le Parfum and the Eau de Parfum. So this just came out last year, so it ain't been on the market that long. So if I was going to describe how this smells, it's just like Live, that it sits in between these 2 fragrances, but it's sweet, okay? It's a tad bit sweeter. I think what they did was, instead of adding a couple drops of juniper berry inside their solution and making the juniper berry sit in the middle, they added a lot so it can sit on the top notes. So you're smelling a more berry, citrus opening when it comes to this fragrance. Now, I like that. Anytime y'all mix a tad bit sweet with something that's fresh, for some reason, I get a lot of compliments. I love this scent right here. Now, does it last long? Yes. It lasts just as long as the Eau de Parfum. The Eau de Parfum lasts a long time too on clothes. Maybe not on your skin. You're getting about like 5 hours, 5 hours and a half on skin when it comes to the Eau de Parfum. And that's the same thing, the Eau de Parfum Intense. It's kind of like neck and neck. But do I recommend the Eau de Parfum Intense? Yes. But what I'll say is go inside the store, smell Eau de Parfum, and then smell the Eau de Parfum Intense, and you pick one. But you do not need both. Okay, so let's talk about the Le Parfum. Now, the Le Parfum is really kind of like my favorite. If I was gonna say, like, I understand the Elixir came out, and I really like the Elixir, and the Elixir is trying to compete, but I think because I had the Le Parfum for 2 years, and I have a wide range track record with this fragrance, when knowing this smells really good, knowing when I put it on, I'm gonna go outside and get compliments. I just got a track record, I got a history with this fragrance. So I can't just neglect it and say that the Elixir is in first place. And I only been wearing the Elixir for a week, even though the Elixir been doing good. But if we're talking about the Le Parfum, they put that apple in here. So you got the apple, you got the real fresh notes, you got that grapefruit that is not normally in none of the Y lines, but they added it in this one. So you got that grapefruit with that apple, you got the lavender, you got the geranium, and in the base notes, they added more woodsy notes. So now you're looking at tonka bean, cedar, cardamom, and some patchouli now. So they added a little patchouli in there. I really love Le Parfum. Le Parfum been my favorite for a while. Anytime I wanted to step outside and I wanted to grab an everyday scent that I knew that was gonna smell good, I grabbed the Le Parfum. Okay. Do I recommend y'all get the Le Parfum? Hell yeah, man. All age ranges. It's gonna get you compliments. It projects like a beast, okay? It does its job, and yes, I can recommend it. Now, let's get on the Elixir. Now, the Elixir just came out, and it doesn't have that many notes as all the other fragrances. You're looking at lavender in the opening, you're looking at geranium on the middle notes, and then you're looking at frankincense and oud for the base notes. So what can I say about this fragrance? This fragrance is the strongest and long-lasting, highest projecting Y fragrance, but that comes in a good and bad category on the simple fact that because it's so strong, it fills up the room, it can be overpowering. So if you're not like a bold guy, a guy that loves attention, I can't recommend this fragrance. But if you are a dude that want to step into the room and you want to take control and demand attention that the elixir provides, then go ahead and get you the elixir. Now, what I can do is I can sit here and I can rank all of these fragrances together. But let me tell you, do I recommend you getting YSLY elixir? No, not right now, okay? Wait until it hit discounters. You can find this fragrance for $180. I can't recommend y'all paying that much for this little itty bitty bottle, okay? So yeah, it smell good, but if you want to smell good and you want to last just as long as this and get you just as much compliments, just pick up the Le Parfum. This is still work wonders. This is still, I think, my favorite YSLY, or maybe it's this one. Man, it's a toss up. Come back to me in a couple weeks, but you know, that's how I'm feeling. All right, y'all, so let me rank all these fragrances so y'all can understand my opinion. Now, let's get into it. So right now, okay, so to this date, you gotta look in the description, look at this date, because my list be changing when the seasons change. Sometimes I like the YSL fragrance over another one. It flip-flop when it comes to this order. But in last place, for the one I don't wear a lot, I never really wear the Toilette. On a simple merit that it don't last long, it's boring. It still projects, still cool. It's just boring, man. It's just so many other options that's better. So I really only wear that when I feel bad for it. I know that sounds fried, but it's kind of what it is. Then I'll probably say Eau Fresh. Eau Fresh is really good for the summertime. Now, understand that when I make this list, I'm wearing all these scents. They all good fragrances. I'm just letting you know. Like, imagine if all these fragrances was like 8 and up, and I'm trying to rank these fragrances. If all these fragrances is 8 out of 10 and 4 stars, they all good. So you can pick up any one. So it's kind of like an all-star list, and that's why the Y brand is so popular, because you can get any one, and you in there. You know what I'm saying? You ain't do bad. Okay, so after Eau Fresh, I'll probably have to say the Eau de Parfum Intense. I like that fragrance. I love that fragrance. They all smell good. But I think that Juniper Berry, I'm not too fond of it. I'm like, it's not the best. Still lasts long, and I think it's just a little redundant. It's just not special. After that, I'll have to say probably the Eau de Parfum. It's special, you know what I mean? It's literally the definitive YSLY fragrance, because it's not too light and it's not too strong. It's like right in the middle. It's like perfect kind of. After that, like I said, I don't got the bottle, but I'll say like YSLY Live, because it got like a floral essence to it. It's like sweeter, fresher floral. I like that. Still projects just as much as the Eau de Parfum, and it's the wild fragrance that nobody really talks about. And I think it's just simply just the name. I think if they just called it the Eau de Toilette Intense, I think it would have just got a lot of compliments. Or if they had called it YSLY Intense, we would have been paying attention to it. But they called it Live. I think they kind of threw people off. So people kind of look at it like a flanker of a flanker. Like, it's like, is it even a wild fragrance? But it is, though. They should just change the name, and they should just change the name. I don't know why they did Live. But yeah, after Live, I'll have to say Elixir. Elixir good. Y'all heard what I said. It lasts a long time. It's really strong. It's fire. You guys will like it. And in first place, I'm going to have to say the Le Parfum. Okay, the Le Parfum. Y'all gotta let me know in the comments which one y'all like the most. Cause for real, all these fragrances do the same job. All these fragrances are great. You can't go wrong picking up none of them. All the notes I got like on this paper, and I'm looking at them, and it's like all the notes are similar. Like if I was gonna tell y'all what I'm looking at, like they only put an apple note inside the Eau de Parfum and the Le Parfum. The apple note is in no other fragrance, even though we kind of think it is, because I thought I was smelling it, but I think it's just the sour of the citrus. Like I realized in all these fragrances, it got some type of like citrus. Like an Eau Fresh, it got lemon. Toilette got bergamot. Eau de Parfum got bergamot. YSLY Live got bergamot. Le Parfum got apple and grapefruit. Eau de Parfum Intense got bergamot. The only one that don't got bergamot is the YSLY Elixir, which makes sense because that's not really like a fresh scent. It's really like a fresh and spicy scent. Like it's really an aromatic scent. Like this scent is crazy. This is like a lavender bomb. Okay. But that is my ultimate review of all the YSLYs. If y'all like this review, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. I love y'all so much. Let me know your favorite Y, and I'll wear it this week. But like I said, I love you guys, and thanks for watching. I'm out.